I spent last weekend in Greece. This is the first time I've kind of taken a vacation in about 5 years. It's the first time I've been to the beach in 5 years, and I will say it was kind of nice. I haven't really let loose like this in a long time, and so that was good for me. At the same time, there are some things that really aren't great about it. I love the beach. I like the atmosphere. I love the weather. We were right by Mount Olympus, which is really cool. I have some fond memories spending some of my childhood in this place. It's Katerini in Greece, and overall, it's a great place. I recommend it. It's a bit busy this time of year, but the beach is nice, the food is nice. It is a little expensive when you're paying with euros, but every once in a while, this kind of thing is okay. I'm not really against that. What I am against is the monumental amount of time that I spent in the sun. I am not that used to sun exposure to where I could not put on any sunscreen and just spend hours on end in the sun. I spent too much time in the sun. I spent about 2 hours digging this big hole. It turned into a freaking hot tub. I mean, I probably moved about 2 to 3 cubic meters of sand by myself with these hands, right? And that was probably not good in terms of sun exposure. I spent a few hours in the water just tossing my little cousins around, making sure they don't freaking kill each other wrestling over there. And again, I spent too much time in that water, spent too much time in that sun. By the time I realized I got to get out of here, my scalp was already burning. I mean, underneath my hair, felt it was like on fire. And at that point, I realized I made a big mistake. So I hid away for the rest of the day, but by that point, I was already red as a tomato, as one of my cousins said. And she was absolutely right. I woke up the next morning and I got freaking wounds on my face. I'm talking 2nd-degree sunburn. I'm like breaking out all over here. My nose is leaking pus. My forehead is leaking pus. And that's not great. So I hid away for the rest of the day. I wore a towel on my head. And now, 10 days later, I'm freaking still peeling skin off like a snake. And I really thought about this analogy. It kind of just came to me right now. But I let myself go on this trip. I had some sugary drinks, some soda, I had some sweets, some snacks, some things that normally have no place in my diet. I won't make excuses about this. What I will say is even this small slip up is having pretty big effects on me. I mean, I've been craving sweets, and I'll be honest, I've indulged in some of these sweets since I've gotten back. Some of these things that I just don't think about normally, I've been indulging in. I had a chocolate bar. I had these snacks. It's called a halva. It's like a condensed snack made with sunflower seeds and honey. I had these like wafer cookies with, they're like wafer bars made with like hazelnut, and they have sugar in them, like a lot of sugar. And I had some lokum, I believe they call it Turkish Delight in the United States. I had some soda too, and I've really been letting myself slip. Luckily, I've spent years building up my physique to the point where this little slip up is not gonna have that big of an effect on me, but it has had an effect on me. And they say old habits die hard. In fact, one of my friends brought this up just yesterday, old habits die hard. And it's true. I used to really struggle with the consumption of this kind of stuff, specifically sweets and soda and even chocolate and all this junk. I used to have a real problem with it. And the past few years, I've done real good at cutting it out, slowly weaning myself off to the point where this year I've had basically zero sweets. Last year I've had basically zero sweets. And really just recently I dived right back into this habit, and now I've got to peel it off like a layer of dead skin, because in a way that is what it is. It's just something that's hanging on to me that has no place being there. When I think of that person that I want to be, when I think of that guy, I don't see the snacks. I don't see the soda. I don't see the sweets. I see someone who sticks to their diet. I see someone who's got their macros dialed in. I see someone who's eating clean day in, day out, drinking a ton of water. And this stuff has nothing in common with that person. So it's really just time to peel that off. And this analogy can be used for pretty much anything. I mean, drinking. When I quit drinking 2 years ago, it really was the same thing. I was drinking for no reason at that point. I saw no gain from it. I didn't even feel good when I would drink anymore. And so I peeled it off like a piece of freaking dead skin. It fell off, it shriveled up, it died. But that's different from this. Over the years, I've let myself slip a little bit with the sweets. I've let myself slip with the sugary drinks, and it hasn't been the same. I haven't been as strict with it. I haven't let that habit die off. And so now, having dived right back into it, this is a great opportunity for me to really show my stuff and prove that this isn't who I want to be. This piece of dead skin is coming off, and I'm going to have it stay off. It works for smoking too. I mean, smoking is absolutely like a piece of dead skin. You got to peel that sucker off. You got to peel it off and forget it. It's like that old adage about the Band-Aid. Would you rather quick it off? Would you rather rip it off quickly and get it over with? Or would you slowly peel it off and feel that pain, every little bit of pain as your skin stretches and rips and blah, blah, blah. And really, you just got to rip it off. Toss out the cigarettes, throw them in a freaking bucket of water. One thing that I actually did with cannabis a few years ago is I had a bag of cannabis and I just tossed it in a bucket of water. Literally, I just let it freaking ferment there. Nobody's smoking that stuff anymore. It does turn into good fertilizer apparently for the crops, so that's what we used it for. But really, that's all this stuff is. If you find yourself having this kind of habit where it's just no longer benefiting you whatsoever, it's just hanging on to you like a piece of dead skin, like a parasite, rip that sucker off, peel your skin off. Kind of like a weird way to put it, but that's the analogy, is this stuff it's not benefiting you anymore. And this stuff is not benefiting me anymore. So I'm going to cut it out with the sweets. I feel it when I eat these sweets. It's like a freaking rock in my stomach. Like my body does not want to process this stuff. It does not want whatever is in this stuff. Like I feel discomfort in my stomach when I consume these sweets, but I haven't cut it off yet, and I'm going to do that now. So I guess time will tell how far I get with that. Really, I'll probably bring it up in a future video, but that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I will be back with some more new videos. I hope that this style of video is appealing to some people out there. I've made this big shift with my content lately, and I hope that it could really benefit people a lot more than just seeing me train, seeing what I'm up to. I think sharing my thoughts can also be equally beneficial, if not more beneficial. So once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you.